Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to our show, My Confession. Last week we talked about a lady, Carol, who was going through a lot of pain, losing a parent, losing a home, being taken with an uncle, then an uncle abuses the child commits suicide. It's also painful, but we thank God because of this effort, being here for you, we tried our level best and give solutions to her. I hope whenever she is and others who are facing the same issue like Carol, I hope you found solution. This week we are going to talk about a lady known as Magdalene, who is also going through a serious problem, through a lot of challenges. She is going through menstrual period, asking the mom for help, no help, but rather get a very disappointing answer. What's the need of a boyfriend? Meaning this secondary student needs to have a boyfriend in order to be taken care of. Her needs to be taken care of. So today also we still have our special guest who has never gotten tired to support us, who has never gotten tired to listen to your problems and trying to give solutions. Mr. Dennis, welcome again to this show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, say something to our viewers.
So, good evening, viewers. I'm back again, and I look forward to having solutions to the challenges that we'll come across today.
Thank you so much. We are here today also to continue saving those souls that are really getting tired with this life. I am your host, Sarah Mashau. So let's watch her story and be able to understand what she is going through.
My name is Magdalene. I'm 18 years old. Sahi niko form 4. Saa juzi nilienda kwa mamangu kumuitisha pads. Akaniambia at the moment hana hiyo do. Alinitusi, akaniuliza what are boyfriends for? Sa at that time sikuwa naamini ati ni mamangu ananiambia kitu kaa hiyo. So I got so traumatized. I got so confused. Na tena kulikuwa na huyu mwanaume alikuwa anakuja kwa mamangu. Akaniambia nikiwa na shida yoyote, I should not hesitate to go and talk to him. So I went, nikamwambia what I needed, lakini alikuwa anataka kulala na mimi. So there is this one day, alikuja akajaribu kunirape. So I managed to get out, and after that, sijai rudi kwake tena. Sasa I'm so much stressed, I'm so much confused, I can't go to school. Hata natumia my own clothes to make a pad. Period yangu sahi ina flow so heavily. So hata kwenda shule na niko form 4, it's a struggle for me. Mtu yoyote ako hapo nje mwenye anaweza nisaidia na pad, tissue ama any other personal item, please do anisaidie. Because right now I can't talk to my mom. I can't talk to anyone. There's no one around to help me.
We have watched the video and listened to her sad story. I'm trying to imagine a mother with a child. You are working for this child. In order to take care of this child's needs, she comes to you, asks you for some pad. Instead of listening and maybe giving a solution or an answer that there's no money at the moment, but the answer is, I don't have money. Then, to put more pain, to add more pain, you ask her, what's the need of her boyfriend? I'm trying to understand. Do you want this girl, do you want Magdalene to start looking for a boyfriend to take care of her needs while you, the mother, you are there, you're still alive? Then to continue, there's this friend, a male friend of her mother, who frequently come to visit. Start seeing something in her. He's willing to support the girl, very willing, telling her, ask for anything and it shall be granted to you. But in return of giving him her body. This girl is really passing through a lot. She is stressed up. Mom is not there, but there's somebody who is there to help, but in a very cruel way. Now she's stranded. She don't know what to do. To an extent, the man is forcing himself to her. What she does, she managed to escape. So, ladies and gentlemen, according to what I'm seeing from this story, from her story, it's not something that I'm expecting from a mother who went through a lot of pain giving birth to her and raising her up to this level. Does it mean that the mother is now tired when the girl is almost finishing her studies? Girl in Form 1. Is she becoming weak, or is he seeing the girl as a burden to her life now? Mr. Dennis,
Yes.
kindly try to make me understand. Is the mother getting tired? Are you also trying to understand that this girl is really going a lot of stress, or is it something okay that is happening here? Is it okay?
Well, first of all, before you even judge whether it is okay or not, there are very many things that are happening in this video. And chief among them is you're looking at someone who is overwhelmed, you know, both the girl and the mother. And I'll start with the mother in this case, because firstly, we don't know whether there are other children in that family. Okay. Second, for you see, that is an outburst. You know, the things that people say in the heat of the moment. Maybe this is it's what I think. The views are strictly personal. This is an outburst. So there are things that are said in the heat of the moment that come without any conscious thoughts to them. Okay. So you find that before what is resulting to that statement being said, we don't know. Okay. And also there is this outview or outlook that people may have, especially if the children are either the first child or the middle child, you know, in the family. Their position in the family, it's either they're the first child or the second child. They are expected to grow up quickly than the others. You know, this is where phrases like when mtu mkubwa sasa faiko unanitisha vitu kama hizo, they come in. You see. So you find that there may be a lot going on the mother's side, you know, that we don't know and we don't want to speculate too much. Okay. But we see that is an outburst in itself. You know? And the fact that the mother has a friend makes me want to know where the father is in this dynamic, you know. So, and that can be something else, you know, because if the father is not in the dynamic, then who do the kids look up to? I'm assuming the other children in the family, who do they look up to? Okay. So the mother side, we also have now the girl. And with the girl, she's still in school. So she's not working. You know, I'm assuming since she's 18 years old, she's close to finishing her high school. Okay. So you find that she makes education a priority. And this is a challenge because I think somewhere within the video she says that she's finding it difficult to go back to school because of the circumstances that this inaccessibility to sanitary towels has brought her. You see? So you find that that is a problem in itself. You know, and there's a lot of period poverty that is there in our communities, in our homes, you know, and this is what makes these people easy prey to people that want to take advantage of them. You know, in this case, it was mommy's friend.
Yeah, and maybe he has been seeing what the mother is doing to the girl. That's why he offered to help the girl. Exactly.
That is one. There are cases, I think some are reported, some are not. But there are also cases of people with guys from these motorbike drivers. You know, they are also said to take advantage of these little girls because of things like that. Because if someone is to meet the cost of, say, purchasing the sanitary towel and want something in return, who are you to deny him? Okay. So you find that that is also a problem in itself. It is exposing this young person to desperation and to a point where she can do anything. Because actually it is said in the video that she is using her clothes to kind of manage.
And the flow is very heavy.
To kind of manage in this situation, you see. So you find that this is desperation in its best. And there's a lot, just a lot of things that is happening, that are happening to the girl in the story.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So we are going to be back with more solutions, with more findings to understand where to help this girl and be able to stand again and continue with her life. Let's go for a short break.
Je, wewe ni mfanyabiashara katika sekta ya elimu, afya bora, usafiri ama unamiliki kampuni yoyote ile? Ungependa kupata fursa ya kutangaza biashara yako ili kuwafikia wateja zaidi? Usikonde. Runinga ya Younib inakupa fursa ya kupeperusha matangazo kuhusu bidhaa na huduma unazotoa kwa bei nafuu. Kwa maelezo zaidi, wasiliana nasi kupitia nambari za simu 0750344700 ama kupitia barua pepe marketing@younibtv.com. Jinyakulie leo. Younib TV, ever the best.
We are back again, ladies and gentlemen, talking about a lady known as Magdalene, who is still a student, actually in Form 1. Yes, Mr. Dennis, my concern is here. How can this girl manage her trauma after what the mother has done to her and this sexual whatever that is happening from her mom's friend? How can she get out? How can she manage this trauma?
I think before even we talk about how she can manage trauma, I think the viewer at home does not know what trauma is. You know, you're using complex, very complex words to describe simple actions. You see, any activity that or any event that gives you any form of psychological harm is said to be traumatic.
Yeah.
Okay. So the psychological harm that comes as a result is what we call trauma.
Trauma, yeah.
Okay. Now, you've asked how we can deal with the trauma.
Yeah.
So that means we acknowledge that there is already trauma in this.
True. Very.
In this
very.
story. So you find that firstly, there is that sense of alienation that comes, you know, as a child. People ask, kwani mimi ni mtoto wa nani?
Exactly.
You know? And again, I'm working with the assumption that this is among the first children. You know, there may be a firstborn or a secondborn in that dynamic. So you find that there is that sense of alienation that comes, you know, with everything. The other thing, there are these advances that this guy is bringing. You know, this mommy's friend is coming up with these advances. And you see, that puts the girl in a tight spot.
Yeah.
Because if she tells the mother, will the mother really believe her story?
Or will she ask her to continue, accept the offer?
No, she may not, but will she believe the story? You know, that's the one thing you need to look at it from, you know, because maybe, especially this is something that is actually very rampant in families that maybe people separated or something, you know, you find that the parent starts looking at it from the point of view that, one, it may not be true, or maybe the parent starts displacing the issues that she may have with the daughter to, or minimizing that issue. You know, he's just being friendly, he's just being nice. You see? And this is defilement waiting to happen.
Yeah.
You see? So you find that there are a lot of events and activities that are happening to this girl that are traumatic in themselves. Okay. Secondly, the way the girl is coping in itself is traumatic.
Yeah.
You know, if she tells you that she has to use her own clothes to do this, you know, to manage, to cope, that is also traumatic in itself, because what's going on in the mind of that girl? Okay? Because I don't know, and I do not want to minimize the situation, but you find that normally these towels, they're not really pricey, you know? So you find that when the girl has reached that point, what is going on through her mind? Okay? So I think first is to agree that there is a lot of trauma that this girl is going through.
Yes.
Okay? Now, how to manage, I think, first of all is, how does she cope? You know, that's the first thing you'd want to know. How is she coping in this situation? You know? Number 2, does she have a sense of support? Does she have a support system? Does she have a support network? Does she have someone she can talk to, you know, about these things? Be it a teacher, anyone.
Anyone.
Okay. Does she have someone she can tell this story? You know. So you find that that is also another way to deal with the trauma. And another way is, how does she view herself, you know, after dealing with everything that she has to deal with, you know? Yes. And also the last way is, does she really have access to help? Because if she does not have access to material help, you know, the sanitary pads and all other things she had asked for, does she have access to psychological help? You know, she's in school.
Okay.
I believe that school has a counselor, right?
Yeah.
I believe, I don't know. So does she have access? Is there something that she can find, or someone that she can talk to that can help her and support her during this time?
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, so trying to find out, maybe she has someone to help. So how best can you try to make this girl feel safe in that home, even with the presence of this male person? Maybe she might find someone to help, but how best can you advise this girl to feel safe in that home? Because now her safety is not assured.
I think there's a difference between feeling safe and being actually safe.
Okay.
You know, because feeling safe, that's a feeling. You know, you may do everything, but at the end of the day, that person may not feel safe. Okay. But I think a good place to start may be, you know, communication.
With who?
With the people she's living with.
But remember, the mother is not there to listen to her.
Well, there's no point there's no place in the video that it is said that the mother didn't listen. It is how the mother replied.
Replied, yeah.
Okay. So for someone to reply, she must have, or they must have listened. Okay.
Okay, my point is that the mother did not give the best solution to her.
Yes. Okay. But you see, if you've talked about safety, right? She cannot keep that information to herself, because as I've said, this is defilement waiting to happen.
So kama ni mbaya ni mbaya.
So I've not said kama ni mbaya ni mbaya.
Aseme tu whatever kame.
I've said she needs to communicate. Okay, there are many ways to communicate. Okay,
Like?
I can talk to you directly. I can look for someone you respect. I go and tell them to come tell you.
Okay.
But she needs to communicate.
Okay.
Okay, that is one. 2, you find that communication is diverse. Okay, she can communicate about the person.
Yeah.
You know, she can communicate about her situation. So what you can look at is, does she really have outlets, as I said, to communicate? Because yes, naambia nani. You get? So does she have really outlets? But what she needs to do, yes, she needs to communicate, because one, this is defilement waiting to happen. Okay? And it will get to a point that pressure, if left unchallenged, or if left uncontrolled, it will make her do things that she may not want to.
Yeah.
You see? Because after all, it will get to a point that she may say, if this is what it takes, then so be it. You get? And that will be even more damaging to this person. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying.
I'm getting you.
Okay? So you find that communication is one thing, and communication is not really going for. It's not really looking at what will work. It's just letting it out there so that when it happens, or if it happens, there will not be that environment, mbona hukukuja kuniambia. You get? So I think communication is key. Also, the environment in itself, it needs to be conducive. Because this is an 18-year-old girl. Okay? There are things she can understand, there are things she knows, So there are things that the parents can, or the parent can try and encourage having conversations. That means a two-way conversation on these things, because I may be encouraging communication, but maybe the environment is not conducive for communication, because, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you find that sometimes parents tend to lean on the authority side too much. Yes, I am your mother and you will do as I say. So you find that this child, even when she approaches you with something, she first starts by thinking about
the answer.
Yes, how you'll react. See, so if you're used to maybe being harsh, she will say, there's no need to tell her. There's no need to tell her. What's the need to tell her if nikelele tu? You get?
Okay.
So I think there needs to be an environment that is conducive, for communication, open communication, such that some things like this can be better dealt with, can be better managed. Okay. Also, there is need for her to confide some of these things in the school system, because you've asked how she can feel safe. She's still in school, and she has a right to go to school. Okay. And if some of these things are impeding her right to go to school, then there needs to be a diverse approach. The school needs to be aware of it. The family needs to be aware of it. So that there can be a multi-sectoral approach in how they're going to deal with these things.
Okay. So what I'm getting from it is that no matter how difficult it is, Magdalene needs to communicate, needs to find the best way to communicate either to her mom or somebody else that she feels she's going to listen to her. So Magdalene, try to communicate, try to talk about it, try to say something about it. Don't just keep quiet to avoid a lot of problems that may come afterwards. Let's go for another short break. We will be back again.
Je, wewe ni mfanyabiashara katika sekta ya elimu, afya bora, usafiri ama unamiliki kampuni yoyote ile? Ungependa kupata fursa ya kutangaza biashara yako ili kuwafikia wateja zaidi? Usikonde. Runinga ya Younib inakupa fursa ya kupeperusha matangazo kuhusu bidhaa na huduma unazotoa kwa bei nafuu. Kwa maelezo zaidi, wasiliana nasi kupitia nambari za simu 0750344700 ama kupitia barua pepe marketing@younibtv.com. Jinyakulie leo. Younib TV. ever the best.
Welcome back, our viewers. Still here to help this little girl, Magdalene, and other girls who are still facing a lot of problems, like she does. Again, my concern is that we've talked about she needs to communicate. She needs to tell her mom or somebody who may understand her better. So in what ways can she communicate to her mother about her needs and the boundaries effectively without causing any problem or any wrangles between them?
I think before even we go there, there is first the environment, because I cannot be able to talk to someone without there being an environment that I consider conducive. No? Let me give you a good example. Say you're always busy. You know,
Yeah.
you're always here, after here you have this, after this you have this other thing and that other thing, and so on and so forth. What time will I get to, hey, I needed something from you? You know, I learned to cope without you know, necessarily telling you everything. Okay? Let's say you always react to something, however inconsequential it may be. You know, what confidence are you giving me to come and tell you things? I already know you react, and you'll react in a way that is not so pleasant.
Okay.
So what confidence do I give you to come and to come tell you these things? You see? Therefore, first, creating an environment that is conducive for communication is better than the communication in itself.
So who needs to create this environment?
Okay. Now, this one I push it to all the caregivers that this girl may have.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
in school I talked about the guidance and counseling office, if there is one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm assuming. And if there is not one, or if one does not exist, there is a teacher. There are teachers who interact with this person. Okay? So you find that how this teacher behaves in itself creates an environment that may be non-judgmental and may favor open and honest communication. You get? That is one. Two, you find that also the parents, and I was saying, parents really tend to take an authoritative stance.
Yeah.
You know, especially dealing with teenagers. Get? And sometimes, I don't know if it works, but I guess based on what I have observed, is it works with mixed results. You know? So I think sometimes it's good to know or to learn that in as much as this person is still a teenager, there are things that she knows, there are things that she understands, and there are things that she that ought to be talked about. Okay?
Yeah.
So that may also have conducive, or may also create a somewhat conducive environment for conversation between the two.
Yeah.
Okay. So you find that after creation of a conducive environment, or without even creation of a conducive environment, that is what dictates whether communication will happen or not. Okay? And for communication, it all revolves around trust. You know? Is there any trust between the person who's communicating and the person being communicated to? Okay. is there any trust? Can someone really find confidence in them? Okay, so you find that there really needs to be a system or a person where this person may feel comfortable enough to go and tell. If the girl doesn't feel comfortable around her mother, no matter what the mother does, the girl may not start to feel comfortable around her. But in that system that we call her family, there is someone that the girl may feel comfortable around, or the girl feels comfortable around.
True.
Okay? So you find that it is easier to go open up to that person because information will flow freely. Information, and this girl, trusts that the information, once it is given, it will be actionable. There is something that can be done about it. Okay? That is one. The other thing, you find that also in school, there needs to be that sense of trust between these two people that are communicating with one another. Okay? Therefore, on how to adjust, encourage, and advise that it is better, for the girl to try and either talk directly or she may write down what she wants, so as to consolidate the thought, because you find, especially in fear-driven households, people do not really have much to say. So the minute they get something to say, they may get something to say, and then they get to that audience and they freeze. Words disappear and everything. You see. So she might try writing down. She might try talking to someone else that she feels comfortable around. Okay. Also, I think it is good for the girl to be aware of what defilement may come as, especially with in this time of desperation. And once she's aware, I think also assertiveness can come in, especially regarding her boundaries, what she can condone and what she cannot condone. Yes. So there is need to for the girl to clearly define what is good for her and what is not. What she's comfortable with and what she's not.
Okay.
Yes, because I think at the point where this person she's aware of some of these things and how to react around them. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm now getting it correct, getting it clear that she needs to create an environment that she can be listened and understood better, and proper ways to communicate. Look for someone to talk with. You can also write, do your level best to make sure you're communicating. So to these caretakers, the parents, and any guardian who is taking care of such teenagers, what can we tell them? How best can you advise them? Then another thing, how best can you make them to come to that level of understanding that these children, they don't need harshness. They need someone to listen, someone to understand them.
Okay. I think you've asked two questions in one.
No, just one question. How best can you advise these caretakers?
Okay.
These parents, the guardians.
Okay. I think, first of all, it's best to know that once a child gets to that age, they're not really children anymore. You don't just tell them what to do and they end up doing it.
Yeah.
You get? Yes, that is the time when they start asking questions. Why are we doing this, by the way? I don't like it. Okay? So you find that I think that is the first thing we should deal with. Stop looking at them as children because they're not. Start having these conversations with them. And having these conversations with them actually rolls out the carpet for them to tell you something, if they may have something to tell you. Okay? But if you don't have this conversation with them, you're always the parent, who tells them what to do, when to do it, and expect it to be done. They'll always look at you as the parent, So whenever there is an issue, you'll hear them say, you siambia mama nakasirika.
Okay.
You get? So I think that is first things first. I think there's need to start there, Also, as we continue with this conversation, I think there's also need to build a non-judgmental space.
Yeah.
Where I can listen to you and not necessarily judge whatever you say or doing. You get? Because once you create that non-judgmental space, what you tell to the person who's telling you is, I'm comfortable with you telling me that. Okay? And that person, when that person gets that message, the person will start confiding in you more and more and more and more. Because she'll feel like she's in a space where she's not really judged. Okay, so she is able to tell you some of these things and confide in you. And as the caregiver now, you're able to give some advice. So you find that this is something that can happen even well before these problems escalate. Okay? Yes, and also you find that once there's also need to try and believe your children more, because once most people tell the parents, especially if it's about the parents' friends, So I've come across multiple cases of situations where the parent does not believe at all, or outrightly blames this child for trying to sabotage whatever is going on between the two. Okay? So we find that it is this child that feels left out, and some of these stories are not really narrated. Okay? So there is need for also parents to listen and believe, the story, and believe this person when they tell you, when this thing, according to what I feel, I don't feel as if this is moving in the right direction. Yes. And this can actually help to ensure that there are no damages done. Okay. As I said, this is defilement waiting to happen, if it has not happened yet. Okay. And if it happens, what happens to the girl? We'll come back here to stories and try and ask questions like who is to be blamed and so on and so forth. And it won't help anyone. I don't know if you're getting me.
I'm getting it.
Yes, so you find that basically as caregivers, try and be friendlier to these people. Yes. Try and create an environment where these people can talk to you.
True.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. So what I'm trying to understand is that parents need to humble down kidogo. They need to lower themselves. They need to put their egos down kidogo when it reaches to a level of teenagers, isn't it? So they need to legeza kiasi. Okay? So now, the best way to give this girl solution, maybe options on how to get these things that she needs. Maybe, for instance, the parents not capable of providing at the moment. So where else can she manage to get these items, to get these facilities or this help?
I can't pinpoint exactly a range of places where this where Magdalene can be helped. Okay, but what I know is a problem shared is always half solved.
Yeah.
Okay. So once she shares the problem in the right environment and with the right people, I believe in that there'll be a solution in itself. Okay. Also, you find that schools may have programs.
Okay.
That can cater for that or that can handle that. And there are also organizations that do donations that do, they call them pad drives, that do pad drives and do donations. And there are people actually notable that are also, doing this. I came across a page recently, and I think there was a menstrual awareness month or menstrual awareness day or something like that. So there's a holiday that came up last month, and it was about advocating for menstrual hygiene. And in that, I saw something known as a pad bank, something of that sort. So there are organizations that are on the front foot of conducting these drives and donations, whereby they procure sanitary towels in large quantities and then they supply them mostly to schools. Okay. So I believe that if there's a school watching me here and maybe Magdalene is your student, they can try and find out more regarding that. Yes, because they're there and they do it.
Wow. So we are here. Thank you so much for being with us. To you, Magdalene, solutions are here. Communicate. Solutions are all over. Find a place, a good place to find these materials. Another thing to the parents or the guardians, try your level best to listen to these children. Understand them. It's high time we stop being dictators. It's high time we stop being very harsh, very tough to these children. They need someone to listen to them. They are crying. They are suffering. They are going through a lot. And to those who are trying to take advantages to these children, what should you tell them?
Well, there is law to deal with that. So I just leave it to the law.
We will follow the law.
Yeah.
We shall follow the law. So, Mr. Dennis, how best can you tell the viewers where to find you and how to get solutions from you?
Well, I have a diverse range of social media platforms where you can find me. And on X is Waweru_Dennis_. On Instagram, it is @CapriceWeru. On LinkedIn, it is Waweru Dennis.
Thank you so much for being with us. I've been your host, Sarah Mashau. See you next week on Tuesday, same time, same place.